What's up gamers, I'm here today with a quick video showcasing these three handheld consoles. We have the game console R36 Max, the Powkiddy V20, and the BattleXP G350. And I picked these because they all came out in 2025 and they all run around $65, give or take. But let's talk about some specs. The R36S Max and the BattleXP G350 both run the RK3326 chipset. It's a quad-core 1.5 GHz chipset, and they have the Mali G31 MP2 GPU. They both run on 64-bit Linux. All three have 1 GB of LPDDR3 RAM, but the big differences here between these two is that this has a 3.5-inch display, while this is a 4-inch display that is square. It is a 720 by 720 pixel display, and so you do get that nice verticality. This is the tallest of these, the largest of these three handhelds, and will be great for vertical shmups and some Nintendo DS, Pico 8, Game Boy, some of your more square aspect ratio games. The problems that I have with this, I hate this, that this just spins. Don't like that at all. It feels like it could fall out at any moment. All of these buttons are very, very clicky. The D-pad's actually not bad. The face buttons though, the face buttons don't feel great to me. The joysticks are also weirdly stiff feeling. So I'm not a huge fan of the controls. Also, it has the R2 and L2 buttons are really stiff and difficult to press. They have almost no give to them at all, but L1 and L2, they're fine. They're actually fine, and they're not too loud. But then we also have to talk about the elephant in the room here, and it's these giant butt cheeks that are on the back of this thing. Look at that. I mean, that is massive, and because of it, it always does this every time. It won't sit up straight on a table, and that really bothers me personally. So despite the screen being pretty good, I do not like the build quality of this device at all, which leaves these other two here. And let me tell you about this Powkiddy V20 real quick. This is the widest of these two, and so it's actually a little more comfortable, I think, to hold for adult-sized hands. The sticks are Switch style sticks, but I don't think that they're terrible. It's nice and flat on the back, even with the triggers here, so it does sit well on a table. However, these triggers are very loud. The face buttons are not though, except for start and select. Start and select's pretty loud, but you got a 640 by 480 display here, and this is using the Allwinner A133 chip, and I do actually think this has the best performance out of the three. And then the BattleXP, I think this has the best build quality of the three. It doesn't sit flush with the table though, and that is unfortunate. I wish it did, but it's not too much of a bump. But I do like the quality of the plastic shell here. I do like how the D-pad feels. The D-pad actually is excellent. These sticks feel just about right as well. And I even like their placement. These buttons also feel very good. They have a nice spring to them, and they're very quiet. And I know a lot of people have already made this observation, but this honestly feels like an Anbernic device. I'm not sure if it is an Anbernic device. Maybe secretly it is or something, or if they sourced the same materials from the same factories or something. I'm not sure, but it does have a really high quality Anbernic style feel to it. And I appreciate that because it comes in at a budget price. In fact, I think this is one of the most intriguing handhelds of 2025 so far, despite the fact that there's really not anything new here. This is all stuff we've seen before. There's no shock value. There's no hidden features or anything like that. It's very basic, but it's also very affordable, and it has a high quality build. But real quick, before we look at some gameplay, battery life. Of these three devices, this Powkiddy actually has the biggest battery and the longest battery life. So if you're looking for something that's going to last a long time, I do recommend the V20. It really does have some of the best battery life in a vertical handheld that I've tested on the channel, because it has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in it, and they claim it lasts 10 hours. I've never tested the 10-hour theory, but I know that I don't charge this very often. The G350 has a 3,200 milliamp hour battery, so you're going to get about 4-5 hours out of this one, and the R36 Max has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, so you're going to get about 6 hours out of this guy. You're also going to get a huge library of games on this one. I'm scrolling through them really fast here, but you can see all the different systems that this comes with games preloaded on, and it's a very wide selection. Now I want to test a couple of games and see how they run next to one another, and we're going to start with the N64 with GoldenEye 007 in 3, 2, 1. very interesting. You can see some stutter there on all three of these, but that All-Winner 133 is ahead. It's processing everything just a little bit faster here on the Powkiddy V20. Let's see which one loads the level faster. And once again, it's the Powkiddy V20. Fortunately, I can't reach the triggers to fire back. If you're just looking at the frame rates here, I do think that the Powkiddy looks like it's running a little bit smoother to me. The R36 Max looks like it's the worst performer. There's a lot of slowdown in those character animations that you don't want to see. So with this particular game, which doesn't usually run well with these budget systems, I do think the Powkiddy is ahead here. What about Crazy Taxi 2 on the Dreamcast? Once again, the Powkiddy loaded up the fastest there. Oh, but this one got here faster. I don't know. I don't understand. And looking at these side by side, I think that the colors are more oversaturated on the R36 Max as well. Especially, it's very red. These two are much more similar. This is a little warmer than the Powkiddy, but this one definitely looks the worst. I'm going to try these one at a time so I can actually drive and let you see them side by side by side. These R2 and L2 triggers are so hard to push down, I actually have to use the grips to do it. So that was very interesting. Even though the Powkiddy loaded to the Dreamcast screen faster than the other two, you could actually watch this footage and see it's like playing in slow motion. It looks really smooth, but it's going slower than the other two. I think the BattleXP actually performed the best here. And this just like goes to show you that with these kinds of handhelds, these budget handhelds, you never know. It's like really case by case basis, game by game basis, which one's going to run the best, which one's going to run the worst. And you might find that some systems run better than others. Let's try one more. PSP God of War Chains of Olympus. This is so interesting because these are the same chip, same RAM, but this one loaded a lot faster. This one looked like it was going to boot up last, but ended up being in second place. And this one ended up being in last place. This one's really struggling. Keeps flickering out. You can see there's no sky here. Frame rate is really low. Or sorry, I should say the frame rate is skipping to keep it steady, because I think it is running at full speed, but they've got a lot of hacks here to speed this up. So I think I'm going to have to actually give that one to the Powkiddy as well, just barely over the BattleXP. It did seem to run a little bit nicer. I thought it was I thought it looked a little bit better, but it was very neck and neck with those two. The obviously clear loser here is again this R36 Max. This is supposed to be like a successor to the R36S and be more powerful, but I just really haven't been impressed with this. I would, and it's also the most expensive, and so this one sometimes is as much as $100, but you can again often get it on sale for around $60 to $70. It's really for me going to come down to these two, the BattleXP and the Powkiddy V20, and I'm not sure which one is the clear winner here because both of them are pretty good. I will say that the build quality is much better here on the BattleXP. I think it looks nicer. It has a cleaner design. There's smaller bezels. So if the way it looks is important to you, I would definitely go with the BattleXP. I also think the buttons feel better, but I do think that that All-Winner 133 chip on the V20 here does outperform it just a little bit. So if performance is more important to you, I think I would go with the Powkiddy V20. Again, very similar and very close in price point. So I think that's what it comes down to. Do you want better buttons better solid feel, or do you want slightly marginally better performance? The choice is yours, but hey, thanks for watching this quick comparison video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more gaming content. Stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.